Mark Carney and the Liberal elite haven't just crossed a line, they have set fire to Canada's global credibility. While the world burns and geopolitical tensions reach a fever pitch, Ottawa is playing a dangerous game of creative accounting with our national security. The bombshell revelation that the 2% NATO spending target was hit only through cooked books is not just a fiscal scandal, it is a calculated act of treason against our soldiers and our allies. For over a decade, Canada has been the freeloader of the North Atlantic, dragging its feet since the 2014 commitments, while nations like Latvia, facing the Russian shadow, are pouring 5% of their GDP into defence. Carney's sudden victory lap is a hollow charade. Experts are sounding the alarm. 50% of the Canadian Armed Forces equipment is currently unserviceable. We are a G7 nation that cannot even deploy half of its own gear. This isn't just negligence, it is a systematic hollowing out of our sovereignty. While Carney brags about numbers on a spreadsheet, our pilots are waiting for F-35s that were promised a year ago, held back by nothing more than a toxic anti-American sentiment that prioritizes hating Trump over protecting Canadian borders. The blowback is already starting, and it's coming from the heaviest hitters in Washington. White House trade advisors have officially branded Mark Carney a problem. The message is clear. The United States is watching, and they are tired of the liberal Trump haters in Ottawa sabotaging the most critical partnership on the planet. By cooking the defence numbers and snubbing US military tech for inferior Swedish alternatives, Carney is effectively isolating Canada on the world stage. We are being excluded from key meetings, ignored in major strategic decisions, and treated like the gross beer at a party that nobody wants to touch. This is the Carney curse in full effect. A leader so obsessed with his globalist image at Davos that he has forgotten his primary duty, the safety of the Canadian people. He claims to be defending our sovereignty from US unilateralism, but the cold, hard truth is that Canada currently has no operational capacity. We are 15 years behind where we need to be. Without the shadow of the American eagle, Canada would be defenceless. Yet Carney continues to bite the hand that feeds us, lying to Parliament and the public while our military sits in ruins. The line has been crossed, and the severe repercussions are no longer a threat. They are an approaching storm. The great transition promised by the liberal elite is finally being unmasked for what it truly is. A calculated multi-billion-dollar transfer of wealth from the Canadian taxpayer directly into the pockets of Mark Carney's inner circle. While the Prime Minister stands before the cameras, draped in the virtues of net zero and global energy leadership, the reality behind the curtain is a labyrinth of cronyism, deferred compensation packages, and a blatant betrayal of Canada's economic engine. This isn't just policy failure, it is a corporate takeover of the Canadian state, executed with the surgical precision of a Davos veteran. The shell game of major projects. Mark Carney's recent breakthrough announcements regarding energy projects are a masterclass in political gaslighting. He stands on the podium taking credit for the LNG Canada facility and the Coastal Gas Link, projects that were already in the pipeline for over a decade. This is